We're in Uralla. This is where Captain Thunderbolt was killed in a shootout. It was his main base. That's a sculpture, supposedly, of Captain Thunderbolt. Note the gun in his waistband. Okay, Bushranger Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt committed many robberies, bailing up mail coaches and private homes in the Liverpool Rangers and New England district. He was shot dead by Constable Walker in 1870s and is buried in Uralla. Bushranger Thunderbolt. This statue was sculpted by Dennis Adams and it was officially opened by... Why are they always politicians? Why don't we see something that it was officially opened by the person who raised the most money for charity? I think the sculpture has done a good job. Good job with the horse, good job with the face of the Thunderbolt man. See the muscles and the flanks. I think this is a much better job of sculpting than those arty-farty things were back at the whatever that place was outside Uralla. Just as Tenterfield has things named after Peter Allen, so Uralla has things named after its most famous citizen. So the Prince Reserve was dedicated in 1938. How nice if it had been dedicated to, oh I don't know, the village postman. But in fact it was to the memory of G. Prince, who was a mayor of Uralla. So decades later in 1938 they put this up for him. And down below it, Thunderbolt Centenary, 1870. I guess that's when he was killed. To 1970. Alexander Binning Walker. Not sure about that. Perhaps that's the sculpture who made this. That's him getting shot. And I suppose that's him with the beard. Although I think everyone wore beards in those days, didn't they? It's actually not the bushranger is commemorating. It says this plaque commemorates the bravery of Constable A.B. Walker, unveiled in 1970 by a police commissioner. Now this map, that's Uralla, this little bit here. Thunderbolt's grave appears to be on the somewhere very close Thunderbolt's rock, which I think is where he got shot. So if you want to go and find his grave, I've got a feeling it might be up that road, opposite his sculpture there, the statue. But there's the I sign for information, tourist information. 20 yards away, so we'll go there and find out what we want to know about Uralla. Welcome to Uralla, Thunderbolt country. And here's the map. You are here. Here, where the eye is for information. Thunderbolt's grave is just here. Old cemetery. So I think we might go and see if we can find that. I've actually got to go up this road, and then that's Salisbury Road, and then down Uralla Street. Salisbury Road there. Original curb and guttering for the ditches. Well, it's not a very big cemetery. It shouldn't be too hard to find that particular grave. Although if it's the old cemetery, I'm thinking that all the graves would be fairly old. That's all there is, just that little sort of pit. Erected by New England residents to mark where lies Thunderbolt Fred Ward. Died 25th of the 10th, 76, aged 36 years. Now if he had been caught alive and hanged, his body would have been thrown into a pit of quicklime in the grounds of the jail where he was hanged. So by shooting it out and perishing in the shootout, he gets to have a grave funded by the New England residents. We're in the information centre. Plenty of books on Thunderbolt. They're actually booklets. Here is a photograph. Capture of Thunderbolt. 1 week after the death of Thunderbolt, a reenactment of the shootout took place at Kentucky Creek by Constable Walker and an unknown person. The photograph was taken at the actual scene of the shooting. So the photographs of his body are not here, but there's one of him. There are 3 of him when he was lying dead after the post-mortem. We're at Thunderbolt's rocks, but first I just wanted to show, see the way the cloud comes down and sort of scuds across the land. Okay, now for the rock, or the rocks. These rocks were one of Thunderbolt's favourite spots. By climbing to the top, he could get a view both ways of the New England Highway, which was not asphalted in those days, of course. This was in Victoria's day. But he could look that way and then that way, see when the coaches were coming, and hold them up. Sadly, the rocks are now defaced with graffiti. There's a rabbit. Rabbits are feral. They were introduced to Australia and people are trying like mad to get rid of them. But I don't think they'll ever get rid of them. So you could climb up from the back there, get right to the top and look both ways on the New England Highway. He was spotted here or trapped here once by the constabulary and shot in the back of the knee, but he escaped. but the scar that was left from that time, when he was eventually killed, I think about 3 years later, was still there on the back of his knee, which was noted during the post-mortem. The Wikipedia on Captain Thunderbolt gives one of his 3 death photographs. There was one with him in profile, one with him face front with his hat on, which this one is, and one with his hat off. So this is him on the coroner's slab after the post-mortem with his hat put on.